38.
There are actors who've been reused by Hollywood to play multiple superheroes, like Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and Green Lantern, Ben Affleck, Batman and Daredevil, Chris Evans, Human Torch and Cap, but no one ever mentions Val Kilmer, Batman and Iceman. Alright, bad joke. Batman Forever is technically the third installment of the Burton franchise. The only way you'd know this is because they use the same butler in all 4 movies. But check out this unreal cast. We got Val Kilmer as Batman. His portrayal gets overshadowed by the likes of Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and at the very least, plays Ace Ventura in spandex.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me this!
Riddle me this. Riddle me that.
Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
I swear, Tommy Lee Jones didn't know how to portray Two-Face, so he basically reenacts what Jim Carrey is doing. Which is interesting because Carrey admitted that Jones came up to him and basically said he despised him as an actor.
Like this, and he went like to hug me and he said, "I hate you."
If Drew Barrymore can play an evil assistant in this, then I guess Chris O'Donnell is qualified enough to be cast as Robin.
I need a name. Batboy, Nightwing. I don't know, what do you think? What's a good sidekick name?
How about Dick Grayson, college student?
Screw you.
And to top it all off, we got pre-Botox Nicole Kidman.
Hot entrance.
The movie begins with the most unsubtle version of Batman. I guess it makes sense because he lives in the most obnoxious city. Gotham is so weird stylistically. It's covered in bright lights, enormous statues, and CGI. Not to mention they have their own Statue of Liberty. In the comics, Gotham supposedly has the highest crime rate. And it makes sense in this movie because the police department is run by the most incompetent police commissioner ever.
I found this in my cubicle. You'll find the handwriting matches his exactly, as does sentence structure and spelling.
Yep, definitely suicide.
I guess the city is unique in its own way, specifically the colors. The design of Two-Face is an example of that. Speaking of Two-Face, what type of chemical mixture turns this face into this one? Maybe it's the same chemicals that make psychotic clowns. Next on the villain list, we got Edward Nygma, who works for Wayne Tech and invents a device that manipulates people's brainwaves and sucks up their IQ. Oh, and did I mention he's a little obsessed with Bruce Wayne?
You hired me personally, just like I tell everyone. We've never actually met, but your name was on the hiring slip. I have it.
He instantly becomes a supervillain once he's denied by his idol and decides to murder his supervisor and leave riddles.
Caffeine will kill ya!
For the love interest, we got Dr. Meridian, a psychiatrist who's just as obsessed with Batman as Nygma is with Bruce Wayne.
You bring your scarred psyche.
Direct, aren't you?
You like strong women. I've done my homework.
Clearly mixing business with pleasure, Bruce meets with her to get her opinion on these mysterious riddles. She eventually falls for both Bruce and Batman. I don't know how she doesn't figure it out. It's not like he makes it completely obvious or something.
You, sounded like you were in trouble.
Or maybe it's because he's the only one in the world who can pull off the thickest turtleneck you've ever seen! I mean, look at that thing! Woo! They go on a date to the Gotham City Circus, where Robin and his family are trapezing. Trapezing? Trapezes? Trapezoid? Trapezoid? I don't know, they're flying around in the friggin' air. And of course, it's crashed by Two-Face. And I gotta give it to Two-Face. He was able to figure out that Batman was somehow in the audience and plans to detonate a bomb if Batman doesn't come forward. In the midst of all this, Robin's parents are murdered and Robin seeks vengeance. Bruce adopts him, and I like to think it's because of his wicked sideburns and piercing. Or possibly it's because it's the way he does his laundry. Robin eventually finds out he's living with Batman because no one can apparently keep a secret in this film. He goes joyriding in the Batmobile where he runs into the most rad street gang ever, while trying to mac on chicks.
Go for a little ride on my love machine, baby.
Children's Batman.
At this point, Riddler's invention has made him enough money to live in his own freaking island, and he also figures out Batman's identity. So he and Two-Face infiltrate Wayne Manor with the cleverest way possible, and blow up the Batcave.
Twig or tween?
Bruce gets shot in the head after Two-Face flips his coin till he gets the outcome he wants, which totally defeats the purpose of the coin toss. Bruce wakes up to find everything has gone to
Master Dick has run away. The cave has been destroyed.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
And there's another riddle.
Bruce solves the riddles and teams up with Robin, not without performing the most iconic suit-up scene in cinematic history. When they arrive at the island, Riddler and Two-Face play the most epic game of Battleship.
A14. Sweet.
B12.
I like this game. C9. You sunk my battleship.
Batman defeats the Riddler by asking him the stupidest riddle possible that it blows up the whole island.
I see without seeing. To me, darkness is as clear as daylight.
You're as blind as a bat!
And he kills Two-Face by throwing coins at him. The movie ends with Riddler checking into Arkham Asylum, and Meridian and Bruce get it on while Alfred watches. It may be the bat butt or bat nipples that makes Batman Forever a guilty pleasure movie, but it's a total cheese fest that makes it unforgettable. You might think, how could they top this plate of nachos with more cheese? Well, it was easier than you think.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming.